Hi everyone, this is my Mythic Maiden tanking guide. This is focused on the Demon Hunter and some of the other tanks, but you can still see how I do the fight. Um, let's talk about gear first. The whole point of this is to gear around eating straight up solo tanking the hammers. And so this is my first kill. And the idea behind this kill is I'm being super protective because I want to make sure we kill it once and then I'm going to worry about parsing. So I did went a little overboard with my gear. I'm going to show you how I did it so you have an idea, and then you can mix and match your gear based on damage if you want to parse higher. On this kill I only parsed at 74%, which is really low for me, but that wasn't the point. I geared to be protective. Now I know what to switch out for my next kill. So let's talk about what I used. For trinkets, I used the Reliquary of the Damned for the stamina, and I used it for the shield. It's only, I believe it's a minute and a half cooldown when you absorb it with the hammer. I used the animated exoskeleton, which I have a bad gem in there I forgot to take out. Basically, stamina. I just started stacking stamina. Right now I have 10.8 million HP. I used the Stam Flask and Stam Food, which put me at 11.3 million HP. It was kind of ridiculous. I used the pants and the cloak. I'll talk about legendary specifically in a minute, why I use these two. For my next kill, I'm probably going to take off the animated exoskeleton and put on Archmon's Hatred Reborn. And I'll probably not use the pants, but let's talk about that. So legendary wise, I would say the most important legendary, if you have it, be the Cloak of Fell Flames. This gives you another 15% damage reduction with Immolation Aura up. The hammer does 30 million physical damage and 25 million magic damage. So you have to use both physical and magic mitigation. So this cloak gives you a 15% magic reduction for every single hammer reliably. Like, it's just so good. I know people that have killed it without it, but if you have it, I'd recommend it. I use the pants because if you get back-to-back hammers, which I don't remember if I do in this kill, but if you do, there's a 18-second delay between the first hammer and the second hammer. And there's a 20-second cooldown on your empowered wards, which is 30% damage reduction. So basically you would have to pop the empowered wards about 3 seconds early to make sure it is up the very last second as Maiden swinging her hammer for the second hammer. So the pants made it more reliable for me to have empower wards every single time without having to worry about timing it perfectly to have it up for both hammers, in case I'm unlucky and get them back to back. So on your first kill, if you have the pants, it makes it easier. You could focus more on the actual fight than you do timing your cooldowns. The other really good one is Archmon's Hatred Reborn. Basically, you can have this up for at least one hammer per round, and you'll have anywhere between about 3 rounds worth of hammers. You'll have a single hammer, then a double, and then you should be dying before the next one. So you can have this up for one hammer every time. It gives you a ton of agility, a ton of mastery, a ton of versatility, and the shield is amazing. Plus, it adds damage because when she breaks the shield, you're doing damage back to her. So if you're trying to parse, this is definitely a good way to go, and it's also really good defensively. So those are the 3 legendaries I would highly recommend: Cloak, Pants, and Trinket. If you don't have those, then another good alternative would be Pridez. Ideally, hopefully your shield is up for the hammer. You can't time that. The boots, I've heard people say is mandatory. It is not mandatory at all. IFR rebrand up for every single set of hammers every time. It's not mandatory. I would not use it unless you have nothing better, because it's not needed. The belt is good damage if you need the damage. Other than that, the other stuff is not very good for this fight specifically, but if you need to use it for the stats, then obviously use it. So that's what I'd use for legendary wise. For consumables, what I used was Stam Flask and the Stamina Food. Honestly, I don't think personally I need it because of my gear levels, and I have so much HP now. So for my next kill, I'll be using agility. And that is really the setup. So let's go ahead and take a look at the kill. Alright, so here we are. On the pull, a pre-pot for this kill, I was using Potion of Prolonged Power. I would probably use Old War the next time I'm trying to parse, just because it's more damage. So basically how you want to do this is we have the Infernal Slam to get in and out of places quickly. So I'm going to Infernal Slam in. The idea is I want to keep her in position. I jump about the 2-second mark because people always precast, they always hit her, she always moves. So my goal is to get in there and land and keep her in that place. Otherwise, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to tank her back here in this corner. That way all the hammers go against the wall and hit nobody else. And let's go ahead and start this.
2, 1.
So right there, this is a good positioning. Right now, keep note, I do not use Fiery Brand, I do not use Immolation Aura because I am using the Cloak. So I'm saving all my cooldowns because I need them for every single hammer. So I go in, I taunt, I do a normal rotation, I get fractures, and then I start doing spear bombs. So right now I get Holy, I'm going to stay here in position. So what I did was, the Holy Slam happens about 5 seconds after I get picked. So I instantly cast Fiery Brand because I know I'm going to extend it with Soul Carver. And I'm going to extend it with Immolation Ores. I want it to get back off cooldown as quickly as possible, so I cast it right away. Then I do Soul Carver to make sure Fiery Brand's up there the entire time. And now her hammer's coming, so what I need to do is for the first one I'm popping Fiery Brand, Immolation Aura because of the Cloak, and Power Wards. I want a 5-point Spear Bomb to get the 5 stacks of Pain Bringer for the 15% damage reduction, using Demon Spikes, and I'm using my Reliquary of the Damned, my first trinket. Let's go ahead and see this.
3, 2,
so I have all those
1.
on cooldown now.
Beware.
And the first hammer comes in, and it takes half my HP away. Like, that's it. Nice, easy, solo, no externals needed. Now, there's a Holy Patch underneath me. I'm going to try to stand in here until all the sparks or echoes go flying out. Right here we saw a Holy Circle. The melee have to get out to absorb the Holy Ball. This is Mythic only. And the Fel has to get out of the way. So after all this stuff comes out, I shift to the back because I know I'm going to get picked with mass instability and I got to jump off.
Warning.
3, 2.
Now this weak aura tells me when to jump. Now this is my first kill. I could have DPS for another second or two, but I'm being safe because I want the kill without messing up. So I move back here, and this weak aura I'll put in the comments. When it turns green, I just walk off. You do not jump, you just walk.
3,
Beware.
There we go.
1.
And alright, Demon Hunter has this easy. You let it fly you really high. Once you're really high, you cast Glide. And then you cast Infernal Slam away from the Fel echoes and away from the Fel people. So you have plenty of time when you're gliding around, you can see the safe spots, and then Infernal Slam back into the safe spot like I did here. Now here's an echo. If you get hit by the echo, you turn into a bomb, it's probably a wipe. So basically how we do the transitioning is all the Fel people, which is all our range and healers, are going to move to the right. Allow all the holy people to go up. We have it so the tanks always absorb the outer lane. We manually assign melee for the inner and the middle on both sides. The healers always have the outer lane, and then the range will pick middle and inner. We don't assign those. They can see the balls and they can pick them up. We stopped using the weak aura because we had more wipes trying to get the weak aura to work for everybody than this method. This method makes us assign 4 people per hammer, well, per section of the fight, and that's it. We already know they're all covered. So they're going to move, and I'm going to leap, and I'm going to get in position. So you don't want to hit any of the Fel balls. Make sure you get all the holy, because I'm holy right now. And I just tank it right here, and just alternate between these 2 positions. Whenever it's yellow, I just stand there. It's that simple. We do not bloodlust in the first one, we bloodlust in the second one. So now I just blow all my damage, but I save Fiery Brand, and I save Soul Carver, so I can make sure that's extended. Probably not needed, but that's how I do it. So Infusion's coming. I have light, so I gotta taunt and position towards the wall. Now, since it's the Holy first right away, I cast Fiery Brand right away, because I know she's gonna cast it with plenty of time, then Soul Carver to extend it. Then we're back to the normal rotation. This is your Fiery Brand, Immolation Aura, Demon Spikes, 5-piece, or 5 Soul Painbringer. I'm going to use my other trinket, which is the animated exoskeleton. Next week, I'm going to use Archimons instead. And Empower Wards.
4, 3, 2, 1.
So I'm going to pop all those cooldowns. There it is. Demon Hunter is actually one of the better tanks for this fight, in my opinion, because we can solo every single one of them just fine, and we have some of the best mobility. So make sure we do this right. I'm gonna glide, pick where I want to jump safely. I see the fell person there, so I'm not gonna get near him until he moves. He got the bomb when he shouldn't have.
4, 3.
Alright, so this one I don't have Fiery Brand. This is going to be a meta instead of Fiery Brand. So I'm going to pop meta. And I'm not going to use a trinket because meta is enough. So, but everything else I'm going to use. Immolation Aura, Empower Wards, DS.
2, 1.
Beware.
So instead of Fiery Brand, it's meta, and then no trinket. And then again, we're going to fall down the hole.
Warning.
4, 3, 2,
1.
beware.
Glide, pick a safe spot to jump down. Alright, so the second phase 2, Fell's going to move to the left. We're going to jump by them, go into position. Here I picked up a holy middle just because I didn't see the people picking it up in the middle. This is where we bloodlust. This is not a DPS race, by the way. I want to point out that we had 800 dead for a long time, but we're still going to kill this. No problems. So we bloodlust here, second pot, break the shield, interrupt, and now we start the last, what should be the last phase 1. So here I want to point out one good thing to see here as
4,
Fell.
3, 2, 1.
Beware.
So he's going to eat the hammer. I'm going to taunt. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to stay in this little area. If you walk over here now, you'll hit this holy, you'll get the bomb, and it's a wipe. So I want to stay in between here because that holy swirls are falling. If you get the bomb when you're not supposed to get the bomb, you probably wipe the raid. It's very imperative that you do not get the bomb accidentally. And that goes for your entire raid. So I didn't pick there for whatever reason. Once the swirls are gone, I'm going to turn her. Now, this is the, fourth hammer? I'm going to use the same thing, Fiery Brand, Immolation Aura, Reliquary of the Damned. Now I want to point out, take note of when my DBM timer tells me the hammer's coming on Fell, and when it actually comes, because it's actually delayed, and it threw me off for a while. Because right now, the hammer should be coming. Most of the time, you're going to notice a delay. That time I didn't, and I didn't realize, but most of the time, the Fell one's delayed based on the timer, at least with deadly boss mods. So I do get the second hammer back to back. So I ate the Fell, now I'm going to eat the Holy. Now this is where there's an 18-second timer between the first and second hammer. And if I don't time my empowered wards correctly, I won't have it up for this point. If you're not using the pants. I'm using the pants, so I don't have to worry about it. Now this one, how I can eat this one solo is I can pop Last Resort, and I won't need an external cooldown. But if you look up here in the top left, I can see there's 4 external cooldowns ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call for a Guardian Angel and just save my Last Resort just in case, because we have them ready. Why not use it? So I call for the Guardian Angel.
3, 2, 1.
There it is.
Beware.
Pop it. You still have to pop your other cooldowns because it only absorbs, like, if you, I think it's 2 times your HP. So if I have 12.9 million right now, and I would have an overkill of 26 million, I would still die, even with Guardian Angel. So you still have to use your Empower Wards, your Demon Spikes, your Immolation Aura, assuming you use the Cloak. And there it is, an 8 Guardian Angel, because I would have died otherwise. My positioning there was a little off. I almost went to fell side. That was almost a wipe.
Warning.
I wasn't paying attention.
4, 3, 2.
Now, ideally, you would want to kill her.
Why?
You want to kill her before she goes back to phase 2, but we fell 5% short, and we had a DPS dead the entire time, and we were 5 healing it. It can really be 4 healed, assuming your people are really good at not getting unnecessary bombs. So at this point, like, we're yelling at people to just absorb the right balls and don't worry about anything else. She's at 5%. If we break the shield, it's a win. So now the whole idea is we're blowing everything we have up. I use Fire Brand here because I know even if I get another hammer, I have last resort. We just need to break the shield. So we broke the shield, and she's dead. Well, I think you see that we had personal loot on because that was a mistake. But yeah, that's the fight. For the first time in a long time, Demon Hunters are actually really good at this fight. We can absorb every single hammer solo without externals if we wanted to. We have the best mobility, so every time we go down the hole, we can glide and pick where we land. So there should be no reason we'll ever land in a bad spot. And then we can get to our lane quicker by leaping across. It's just all around good. So Demon Hunters are amazing in this fight. But yeah, that's a fight. So please ask any questions if you have any in the comments, and thank you for watching.